listening to the Voices of the Voiceless podcast with your hosts, Brad Shepard and Jonathan Fisher.
I'm searching for love, Brad's searching for optimism, and we're both searching for good wrestling.
Yeah, that's whatever.
I mean, I don't know what it is. None of what I say matters.
You can never avoid the voices of the voiceless.
In one fell swoop, the WWE has saved themselves from reconciliation and pure torture, and not only that, an empty arena in Dallas. Hi, everyone. Welcome to episode 28. That's over half a year's worth, don't you know? Don't you know? Isn't that crazy?
Yeah, that is crazy.
How crazy? As crazy as you saying you're not going to watch the WrestleMania main event, which we'll get to later. But yeah, welcome back to the Voices of the Voiceless podcast. We're all over the place today. I hope you like the new jam, because I certainly do. And it's going to be a theme. Since the title is Guile Slam, we're going to be slamming like the Big Show to his opponents on Monday Night Raw.
Oh boy! Hey, did you hear that?
What?
Pro Wrestling Sheet reported that Seth Rollins and Zara Schreiber have quietly broken up as of last month.
She's hot. I think she's cute. I don't know. I'm not opposed to tattoos. Nice tats. I might get a tattoo.
Well, I am opposed to her anti-Semitic behavior. Speaking of that.
What's this?
Did you know it's actually been reported? It's been reported by respectable historians, and this is a true story, folks. It just came out that Hitler has a descended testicle, and you guessed it, a micropenis.
Why is that important? Why is that important? What is this? What are you doing? What are you trying to do?
Don't want no short dick, man.
Okay.
Don't want no short dick, man.
I could see. Okay, but leading into that, Rob Naylor, former NXT creative assistant, tweeted out a picture, and I thought this was really, really cool. And I'm going to bring it up for everybody. So he tweeted out a picture of early plans for NXT. I mean, 2012, man. You know, at the tail end of the I call it a sitcom. It was so silly. The reality show they had on TV. And this is what he was told to do. So he was asked, and there's two separate parts. He was asked to watch the top independent promotions, which ones to watch, I should say, and 12 or how many? It looks like 20 wrestlers to watch out for. Brad, there are 5 promotions. Can you name all 5? Unless you already looked at the list, in which this doesn't count.
Yeah, I looked at the list.
Damn it! All right, I'll just say them. That's no fun. All right, so Pro Wrestling Guerrilla, which is one of my favorites by far. Dragon Gate USA, Ring of Honor, Chikara, and Evolve. Funny how Dragon Gate and Evolve, they merged, did they not? And if they didn't, then I totally misread a story that I read earlier. But they have a promotional tie with Evolve now. And I find that interesting.
Yeah, they're part of the World Wrestling Network.
Yeah. Yeah, so why have Ring of Honor, Chikara, and PWG not had the same cooperation? I guess they just didn't want to. Because Gabe Sapolsky and Triple H are buds. I can't say the same for the other people.
Yeah, I think you just gotta learn to kiss a little more ass.
You think Gabe's supposed to kiss Triple H's ass?
You gotta learn to play the game.
Very fun. Very fun. All right, so do you remember any of the wrestlers that Rob Naylor was told to look out for?
I don't.
Okay. I'm gonna name them in order. Number 1, and from 1 to 20, 1 being the most important, 20 being the least important. Number 1, El Generico. How ironic. Number 2, Jay and Mark Briscoe. Number 3, Adam Cole. 4, Ricochet. 5, Prince Devitt. So 2 out of the top 5 they've already signed. Okay, let's keep that in mind. Jay and Mark Briscoe have turned down contracts and also were turned down themselves after a tryout. Adam Cole and Ricochet, I'm not sure. I know Adam Cole was at a tryout. I don't know if they just didn't want to sign him or not. But moving on.
He just recently re-signed with Ring of Honor too,
Yeah.
so he's going to be off limits.
Yeah. Okay, number 6, Kenny Omega, who just called out the WWE today. We might get to that if we have some time later on. Number 7, Carl Anderson, who's on his way here as we speak. Number 8, Alex Shelley. I don't know where he's at, man. Do you? I don't think he's even anywhere.
No, he's in Ring of Honor.
He's still in Ring of Honor? Okay. Because he was in TNA with the Motor City Machine Guns. I hope I'm getting this right.
Yep, you're right.
Okay,
And he's doing an angle right now with Chris Sabin in Ring of Honor. They're not a tag team, but they're kind of teasing an angle between the two of them where they are going to fight or get back together as a team. So.
Okay. Number 9, Christina Von Eerie, who, for those who don't know, is Ivelisse. I hope I got that right. I'm not confident tonight. You're not going to help me, Brad?
No, I'm just going to kind of push you off the ledge and let you fall.
All right, I was wrong. Let's see what she's doing now. She's right now in Global Force Wrestling.
Global, what's that? What's that? What's Global Force Wrestling?
I don't know. It's one of Jarrett's hobbies.
That's not even a thing. Is that even a thing?
It really is. They're getting new title belts.
They don't even have their champions on their latest tour.
I know. Isn't that sad? Let's see. So she's made her debut in 2006. She went to PWG for a year, and then did the indie circuit for 5 years. Went to TNA in 2010. Let's see. No, wait a second. I got that wrong. She trained for 3 years with the PWG in 2009. Left PWG in 2010. Went to TNA. Went there for 1 year, and it looks like she took a hiatus for 4 years. Now she's back in GFW as of last year. Either way. Okay, moving on. Number 10, Cole Cabana. That will never happen. Trust me. It's a shame, though. He's a great, great worker. Number 11, Samurai Del Sol, who is now... Brad?
She's a trainer.
Samurai Del Sol is Kalisto, is it not?
Oh, I thought you said, okay, Serena Del Rey.
No, no. Samurai Del Sol.
Okay.
Dummy.
Sorry.
Number 12, Uhaa Nation, who is now Apollo Crews. Number 13 and 14, Harlem Bravado and Lancelot Bravado. Who the fuck are they?
The Bravado brothers. Come on.
They
were in ROH for a time.
Okay.
Haven't seen them in a long time. It's been a while since they were in ROH.
They were there for a hot second. Number 16 and 17, Kyle O'Reilly and Bobby Fish. And next to Bobby Fish's name, in parentheses, hard worker. Thought that was kind of cool. Number 18, ACH. Who's ACH, Brad?
ACH is in Ring of Honor. He's kind of up there in age. He's actually really, really athletic. Puts on a lot of good matches in ROH.
Oh, I've seen him before. He made his debut in 2009. How old can he be, dude? He's 28. What do you mean he's old?
Yeah, he's old.
That's not old.
Yeah, that's old.
Roman Reigns is 30.
Yeah, he's old too.
So they're not pushing young guys, really. They're pushing middle-aged men in wrestling years. Number 19.
I'm kidding.
I know.
But
I know.
he's pretty. He really is pretty good though.
Number 19, Tyson Dux. He's old. He's 37. Right now, he was in WWE for a hot minute, 2002 to 2005, and then in 07, and then in 2014. I don't know where he is right now. I think he retired. His last appearance in a wrestling ring was in 2014. He lost to Sin Cara in a dark match on SmackDown in Ottawa, Canada. And number 20, Josh Alexander.
There we go.
I bring up Josh Alexander, and it's mostly just singer-songwriter. What's he doing now? He's 28.
Okay, so he's old.
He retired last year, so he's irrelevant. But I like how they were scouting these guys like years before they came to the company. I find that interesting. And it was NXT that wanted to bring them in, not the main roster, which I also find interesting. Any last words before we go to someone who knows a lot more about wrestling than we do? And I mean a lot more.
No.
Okay. Well, all right. Moving on to someone who knows a lot more about wrestling than we do. Brad, sorry, what the fuck tweet of the week.
Okay. He's a local Pittsburgh icon and Jon Fisher's personal hero.
Yeah, that's right.
That's right. At Justin Labre says a solid match by Brie Bella. Maybe the last singles match for her? If so, hell of a performance to go out on. Now, this was in reference to Brie Bella's match versus Charlotte at Fastlane. The match was actually pretty fucking bad. Had a lot of botches, was really sloppy. So a fan actually responded to him saying, "Damn it, Labre, you'll suck up to anything. You'd buy Hitler an ice cream if you thought it would get you somewhere."
It's great, isn't it?
That's probably true.
Oh, jeez. Didn't he comment back and he's like, well, that's not true. I don't fucking butt shit. I don't know. He didn't really come back with anything. Oh, he's like, oh, I wouldn't because I wouldn't want him to. So he technically never denied it. It's the great part. Look, we saw on Twitter several weeks ago that Labre he doesn't like it, and he doesn't like the WWE, and also said that while Vince is there, he'll never get hired there, which means he got turned down for a job. And no, I'm not going to go on a rant. I'm better than that. But I have a personal message for Labre. I had an interview with WWE too, but here's the difference. And before I go and get information wrong, I need to see how old Justin Labre is. He doesn't have a lot of hair.
He's got to be at least 45.
No, he's like 29, if that.
He has got to be at least 50.
Now you're just making shit up. He doesn't. All right, so he doesn't put the birth year. What are you afraid to know how old you are? I'm pretty sure he's 29 or 30. So
the guy literally looks like he's in his 40s.
He does. I feel really bad. But the fact of the matter is, I had an interview with them too. I didn't go around bragging about it, and I don't get neglected when I feel that they neglected me. I didn't get the job because I was still in college. I had an interview with them while I was in college. It took you probably 7 years to do it. So who's winning on the grand scheme of life? I am. So let's move past it. No rants, just a simple matter of fact. But damn it, that match was awful, and I'm the positive one. We'll get to that, though. We'll get to that. Okay. You know, Brad. It's, you know what? You didn't even say what you had to say about the match itself. You just said that it was a piece of shit. Do you have any more? Why do you think Labre said that? Because he cannot be serious.
Maybe he's trying to work his way into WWE. I mean, that's the only thing I can think of. It's amazing to me the amount of wrestling journalists or writers who are willing to sacrifice their own integrity or dignity to kiss the ass of the talent, even when, it's not necessarily the right thing to do, or even when the praise isn't warranted. You can be a fan and you can report facts and you can still be positive and do it in a way where it's constructive and it's respectable, but without being a total ass-kissing sycophant. It's like you can't have any credibility when you say something like this, was a hell of a match. It's just not credible in any manner. There's nobody that would possibly think that.
Here's the difference between myself, you as a tandem here, and guys like Justin, who, yeah, I've met Justin in real life a ton of times. He's a nice guy to my face. I don't know what it is behind my back, but he's always been friendly in front of me. When we're doing interviews with people, we don't kiss their ass. If there's a time to be praising them for what they've done, then yeah, you absolutely do it. Because you don't want to get the interviewee pissed at you. Then you don't get an interview. Just talk to the guy that just interviewed CM Punk 2 weeks ago. Embarrassing, right?
Yeah.
Fucking dummy. There's a difference. I had to interview Roman Reigns a week before his WrestleMania match against Brock Lesnar. Sorry. Imagine how I felt. And I asked him honest questions. I asked him, why are the people against you? I asked him, well, people would rather have Seth cash in. What do you think of that? I had to ask him about if he thinks the Shield should return. I asked him all these honest questions, not how many Superman punches are you going to throw, champ? Like you can't do that. You just can't. It's a journalist. It's your responsibility to talk about the story, not be the story. A lot of people get that mixed up. Sports and wrestling are the worst. Wrestling's so much different than regular sports reporting, and I understand. However, there's just a big difference between them.
Yeah, there's plenty he could have talked about, like, hey, the nice story with her husband, and her sister is injured, and there's a story there he could tell, and he, but to just go out of his way to praise a match that clearly was terrible, and of course he tagged him in the tweet so they would see it. Yeah. It's like, it's totally phony. There's nothing credible about it. It just, it tells you his opinion is pretty worthless.
Well, all right. Now, to be fair, whenever I wrote the column on the Road Dogg, my company, not my company, the company I work for, did tag him in the tweet and he replied back. So I can't be mad at that, but don't do it all the time. Do it occasionally.
No, that's true. I mean, it was your company that did that after you wrote an article. This was him going on Twitter and just ass kissing to the talent and doing it when it was pretty largely thought that the match was terrible. I mean, it's just, it's ridiculous.
Yeah, it'd be different if I were to tweet something about this next topic and put their profile in there too, just to make them see it and kiss their ass, which you have a strong opinion about it, so I'll let you take this.
I have a strong opinion about what?
The next topic. Didn't you read the agenda that you wrote?
Oh, no. I've got a guy that writes that.
What's his name? I'm afraid to ask. Did you watch the Edge and Kristen show? That's fucking hilarious. And I did. Oh, it's so funny. I don't want to hear the people like it's cringeworthy. You listen, sit back. We have to sit and cringe at wrestling all week long. Fucking enjoy it and watch your couple of your favorite wrestlers just goof around. It's funny. It's lighthearted, it's silly, and it's funny. Anyway.
Yeah, I thought it was all right. I mean, it's a little campy, but you know what?
It is.
It's supposed to be.
Point. That's the point.
It's supposed to be like, Pee-wee's Playhouse meets whatever. It's just, people have to understand what it is. And it's the same Christian and Edge humor we've seen for, a long time. So I don't know why that would be a surprise, but it was all right overall. I for the most part, enjoyed it.
Yeah, people were like lambasting it on Twitter. I'm like, why? Okay, so do they want like I think they wanted Edge and Christian to wrestle on this fucking show, and they got mad about it, and they're making jokes about penises, and now they're upset.
The only thing I would have done to make that show a tad better is I would have had during that segment when they're with Vince McMahon and he walks in on them and he makes the comment about, reading the internet and the internet saying that he doesn't like Christian. That was great. I would have added a blue dot over Christian's face during that piece. I think if they did that, it would have been absolutely hilarious.
For those at home that don't know the inside joke, Brett, can you explain?
Yeah, basically in a meeting, Vince McMahon said he didn't like Christian's face and talked about putting a blue dot over his face on TV. God damn, I just don't like his face. I don't know what it is.
It was a shoot. It was a fucking shoot. Okay. All right. Now to the topic that you feel very strongly about that should be talked about more, but no one really is.
Yeah, I think. Okay, so this week on Impact Wrestling, Rockstar Spud gave EC3 a chair shot to the head. Can you imagine? This week, it's currently February 24th as we record this. It is post Daniel Bryan. Okay. And this fucking company, the same company that posted a gif of Kurt Angle being dropped on his head right after the Daniel Bryan stuff and he was thought to have sustained a concussion by that move. And they bragged about it on Twitter. And now they have Rockstar Spud give EC3 a chair shot to the head. Who is writing this shit? Who thought this could possibly be a good idea?
So I put that on Twitter, and I got the following response. He's a friend of mine from the Philly.com, Vaughn Johnson. And he said, quote, I think these shows were taped a couple weeks before Bryan's retirement, which they were. They absolutely were. However, I still find no excuse. And I said to him, and he has a great wrestling mind. I respect his opinion. And I'm like, all right, but can't they be edited out? He says, not an angle that intense. They want it to mean something. They can't edit that out. It is what it is.
You absolutely can edit it out.
I think you can too.
And by the way, everybody knew he wasn't clear to wrestle because of concussions. Okay. So even before the Bryan speech, everybody knew the deal. Anybody with the internet knew what was going on. So, it's not very bright because, they knew the backlash and some of the comments they were getting on social media. They could have reacted to it. They didn't. And, it's just, what a terribly run company.
What was it? Mick Foley today said that there's no way they come back from the brink. I think it was Mick that said that. If I'm wrong, I'm sorry. I have to go back and look who said it. Excuse me. But how about that? Even fucking Mr. Positive Foley said that the company isn't going to succeed. Is he wrong? No. He's absolutely right. And it's a damn shame. I don't want wrestlers, and I texted you this, Brad. I don't want wrestlers to be out of work.
No, absolutely not.
Of course not. Because then one wrestling company gone is another step in the road that wrestling's dead. And I don't want that to ever happen until I'm dead. Or if my kids love it, my future kids, then until they're dead or whatever. I never want wrestling to die. Dixie Carter, she can go fuck herself, all right? I don't care if she loses a job. She has money. She can sustain herself for the rest of her life. I am not worried about Dixie Carter one damn bit. Honestly, she'll probably gamble it on something stupid. And it's like a one-hit wonder, and she'll lose all her money. But the wrestlers I don't want to see lose their job. So I'm torn. Do I want TNA to go out of business as a whole? Absolutely. I think it's toxic to the wrestling community. Strong words, but that's my opinion. But there's nothing they can do until it happens organically.
Yeah, well, frankly, as a business, from strictly a business standpoint, they deserve to go out of business. What other business do you know outside of TNA would still be in business with all of the issues they've had?
Wrestling or non-wrestling?
Yeah, non-wrestling too. I mean, they're being funded. They're in a money loss situation, and I guess that's changed on Pop TV now. But it's like they've been funded by Bob Ryder, Panda Energy, for years, taking a financial loss. And so it's tough because they do deserve to fail as a business. But I want to see wrestling thrive and WWE have competition. I don't know that'll ever happen again, but that's what I would like to see. And I don't want to see anyone out of work. And they don't do everything. There are some things they do I like, I guess. But, they've got to establish themselves as something different. You look at all the guys, and I like them, but you look at all of the guys they have. It's a bunch of essentially WWE mid-carders in prominent roles.
People claim there's something different. They're not different in the slightest. Who's their heavyweight champion?
Matt Hardy.
Who was just signed and is directing the cruiserweights.
Shane Helms.
Both former WWE employees who started their careers there.
Jeff Hardy.
TNA.
Jeff Hardy's in the main event picture. And
Kurt Angle, Drew Galloway.
Yeah, Kurt Angle, who just left. Drew Galloway. Tyrus is a main part of the biggest storyline.
EC3. If we want to go all the way back, EC3 started in World Wrestling Entertainment.
Yeah, so they have to establish themselves as something different, and I just I don't think they've done that. I don't think any company has done that but Lucha Underground
or New Japan.
Yeah, outside of the country, yeah.
Oh, outside of the country. Okay, what about Ring of Honor?
No, I don't think so. I mean, Ring of Honor is very match focused, but they're playing to a niche market, and that's just the truth. They're playing to a niche smart market that wants to see a strong in-ring work rate and doesn't necessarily care as much about characters and storylines. And that's not how you're going to draw in casual fans, and that's not how you're going to become big. And so that's what they really have to focus on if they want to ever substantially grow, and that's just the reality.
Poor TNA. Actually, no. Poor everyone for dealing with TNA. All right.
I think, I was going to say, speaking of Ring of Honor, if you don't normally read my review, you probably should this week. My ROH review for voicesofwrestling.com. It is going to be interesting.
Bananas. Will it include bananas?
I'm probably going to catch some internet heat
again
for my review of the Young Bucks interview with Kevin Kelly. And so I'm not going to spoil it, but it should be out on Thursday the 25th. Voicesofwrestling.com, my ROH review. And yeah, you're going to want to read that.
I certainly will. Actually, no, you told me already what's in it, so I really don't have to. I don't have to. And there's one thing that we also didn't have to do is watch Fastlane. Now, speaking of Fastlane, let's go through the matches and talk about what we liked about them. Come on, kids. Let's get around the reading table. Around the reading table, exactly, Mrs. Festus. Fastlane. Fastlane, living life in the fast lane. Living life in the fast lane.
Well,
fast lane, yeah.
If we're living life in the fast lane, then I think this pay-per-view crashed and burned and died a horrible death.
Well, let's not shit on the whole thing. Let's talk about it. So, from beginning to end, Kalisto defeated Alberto Del Rio 2 out of 4. First of all, his first, and please tell me if I'm wrong, because I was at work when I was watching the pre-show. kickoff show, whatever. The first fall for Kalisto was a disqualification, right? And the second one was a count out, right?
Yeah, it was a couple of falls really quick.
So how did Kalisto win? He didn't pin him. Like,
Well, you can win by, you can gain a fall by disqualification, count out, pin, or submission, and that's how it happened. I mean, it's not that it wasn't a good match, and it definitely deserved to be on the main card and not the pre-show, especially knowing what we did about the card.
Yeah.
But it's just kind of whatever. Hopefully they move on from this. I'm over it.
yeah, I am too. They need to stop. They need to stop a lot. Sasha Banks and Becky opened the show, and the first thing I texted you was that this is a big opportunity for them, and they doth not fuck it up. And I don't think they did. I think they had a pretty good match. Sasha and Becky prevailed, of course.
Yeah. It was whatever for me.
No opinion.
Yeah, I'm just kind of counting down the days till Tamina hurts someone, but no, there's no opinion here. I mean, this was just, I had no interest in this match, and it's not like it was such a great match that I didn't need to hear a story behind it. I mean, this isn't Ricochet versus Will Ospreay here.
Work
Yeah.
rate. No, Tamina's just terrible. She's terrible. She's just terrible. Kevin Owens defeated Ziggler to retain his IC belt. I loved this match. Thought it was excellent. Match of the night. Easily.
Yeah,
Oh,
I
wait,
disagree there.
You really?
Yep.
Why? Because there was a super kick party? Is that why?
Super Geek Party. Hey, they were on Talk Is Jericho.
I have to listen to that. I know.
Yeah,
you
do
will.
have to. You do have to listen to it. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, I mean, no, it was probably maybe the second best, the third at the, at least the third definitely, but maybe the second best match of the night for me. It was really good. We knew the outcome, and it was just like this was just another feud where I'm ready to be over it. So it's just whatever.
Well, I don't think you're going to be getting anything anytime soon, and we'll tell you why in a second. Do we really have to go into this next match? I mean, I'm not.
Oh
gonna,
yeah,
I'm not.
I want
Why?
a full analysis of Braun Strowman's work rate.
Oh, and I was getting told by a buddy of mine that he hasn't been given the time to prove how good he is. He hasn't been given a chance. Well, bull fucking shit. Oh, was this match horrible? And the Wyatts jobbed to.
What a joke!
And then the next. Okay, we'll get to that later. But oh god.
I mean, who in 2016 wants to see a match with Kane, the Big Show, and fucking Ryback, who is they're all three terrible at this point. And then they beat the Wyatts on pay-per-view. I mean, it's like the Big Show was just saying that his job was to put over younger talent on Austin's podcast, and he said that he never wins matches anymore. And then he beats the Wyatt family.
Well, it was the Ryback show because fucking Ryback did the CM Punk knees and the power slam.
And the guy, I just got to say, the knees were so bad. He's going to hurt someone. He's totally out of control. And on one of the knees, he actually jumped so high, he almost flipped himself over the ring. He almost literally went outside of the ring.
Yeah, and he played it off like it was like in succession, like he was going to do the knee and then roll out to the corner on the apron. That's not what happened. It was an accident.
He's so sloppy.
He's
so dangerous.
When CM Punk said, "Hey, are you just dumb as fuck?" or was it an accident? He told Punk, "I'm dumb as fuck." Well, you know what? He is. He's awful. And then he cuts a promo. Damn it, we'll get to that later. Okay. Charlotte versus Bray. We already talked about this. It was the best match of the night. 5 stars, right, Meltzer? We got to get Dave on the line.
Well, we've got Justin Labre in the line here. He'll be able to give his full analysis. Oh, guys, this was a hell of a match. It was so good. Oh, my God. Charlotte is so great, and Brie Bella is so great. Oh, my God. I can't wait for them to main event in WrestleMania. They're so fucking wonderful. Like, oh, my God. I don't know that he talks like that, but
He doesn't. He doesn't.
Who cares? He does now.
He does now. Son of a bitch. It's so stupid. It just is.
AJ Styles
Okay.
defeated Chris. I can't stop wearing boot lifts Jericho.
Yeah, that really fucked up a couple spots.
It's sloppy. It was probably my least favorite of their matches, just because of some of the sloppiness. Yeah, I mean, it was like, and Styles had a botch himself, I think.
Yeah.
But look, I think the big problem there, to be perfectly honest, was Styles is so far ahead of Jericho right now. I mean, he's like easily a step or two ahead of him as far as, working in the ring, speed, that kind of thing, that he was having to adjust his pace, and it just created some issues with timing. Chris Jericho really, honestly, he's lost a step or two in the ring, and he's in his mid-40s. I mean, that's normal. And he's tried to counter it by doing other things. But yeah, it's just, whatever. It was just not, I don't think it was as great as some people thought. Just my opinion.
I did enjoy it still, no matter what. I still enjoyed the bout.
I hate that he kicked out of the Styles Clash, though.
I was just going to say that. What was it? David Harrow. Really nice guy.
Yep.
He even said that just killed the Styles Clash. You're damn right it did.
Yeah, of course. It was like only the second time he'd used it. So he's trying to get it over as a finisher, and then it gets kicked out of. That's done.
It's going to be just like the when Hideo Itami used to go to sleep. Same thing. He'll never use it. He'll use it like once or twice. But the moment that Jericho kicked out, I'm like, that's done. That move cannot be a finisher. Then again, in their logic, it can be. But whatever. Jericho, on a side note, wins my Man of the Week award. Not Titus. Titus is suspended. He can't. But someone on Jericho's Instagram said this, and I quote, this is from Brett Johnson, 1993. I would love to see this be a 20-minute deal, but I don't know if Y2J has enough in the tank for 20 minutes. Just a few minutes later, Jericho responds, "Are you kidding me? I could go 60 minutes with your mom right now, Junior."
He could give her the Johnson.
Yeah, he can give him the walls of me.
Or put it in her walls.
Hey. So yeah, I thought that was nice. Jericho did something funny. He's great.
Grandpa Jericho's a riot, folks.
And whenever he goes away, people will miss him. I don't care what anybody fucking says. They will.
That's true. No, that's true.
You'll miss him too. I will. Okay. I am not at liberty to talk about the Cutting Edge Peep Show segment because I'm an Edge. People think I'm a Becky Lynch mark. I'm an Edge mark. Edge is my favorite wrestler ever. So I can't talk about it because I loved it just because they were there. It was kind of like the nostalgia of it. I loved that they were there. But I did dislike one thing, and that's why did the League of Nations come out? Well, the New Day was there, obviously. And the League of Extraordinary Foreigners came out, and everyone's just like, why? And the New Day turned face, but no one talked about that.
I'll tell you. I thought, and a lot of people thought the segment was not good at all. I thought the beginning of the segment was good. I actually enjoyed it. I thought the first few lines were pretty funny. It's an entertaining combination having the New Day and Edge and Christian, and I think, the New Day has been too over the top at times. They're just overexposed. They've relied on them too much, and so they've thrown them out there for way too long. But yeah, it was mostly good, I thought, until the League of Nations. They really just killed the entire segment.
Yeah.
It was so random, and they just killed any good vibes or funny good nature. The whole feeling in the room changed, basically, and not in a good way. Not even in the bad guys are here to kick their ass.
Yeah.
Just in a very mundane, boring, this sucks way.
Well, they're not funny.
No.
Rusev's funny. Rusev's just a riot. The other three are not funny. They're just not funny people. So why put them in a comedy spot when they're not funny?
Well, the worst part is it seems like they could be heading towards a tag team title feud.
Oh, boy.
I would absolutely hate that. I really hope they don't do that at WrestleMania.
The New Day versus the League of Nations.
I would absolutely hate it.
Yeah. Fuck! Rusev's the TV champion. Give him that gimmick. Do you know how over that would get? People don't understand. That would be so over, it'd be silly. Do you know what I'm referring to? I know you do.
I do.
Yeah.
He picks up the TV.
He picked up the monitor and he declared himself the TV champion. That's hilarious. Why not run with that? Give me one good reason why.
Yeah, apparently they don't want him to get over. I don't know.
Oh, man. That'd be so funny. Holy shit. Okay. Well, yeah, I know a lot of people had their own critiques about the critiques about the Cutting Edge Peep Show, but it was okay.
I mean, there wasn't a lot to it. Okay, I mean, it didn't accomplish anything, so I understand what people are saying.
Yeah,
I mean, it was totally nothing. It was really just to promote Edge and Christian's show, and they could have done that in better ways. That being said, I didn't think it was terrible.
I think. Well, I have a couple of ideas. I think there's a reason why Enzo and Cass did not debut at Fastlane, which they should have. The New Day should have actually been a heel character and tried to beat the shit out of the two cripples. And the Usos can't come to the rescue. They're too busy fighting off the Dudley Boys. And who else is left? There's literally no other tag team left. Lucha Dragons are irrelevant at the moment. So like that had nothing to do with it either. Enzo and Cass could have made the save. They could have played baby, made the save.
Absolutely. They blew. They could have debuted them here. It would have been perfect. They absolutely blew the opportunity.
Edge and Christian could have put over Enzo and Cass. Like, that's big. That's a big rub.
Yeah. Yeah, it was just, it was such a boner kill.
It really was. And that's a shame. But I think they're leaning towards debuting them any day now because WWE put a video up on YouTube about Dawson and Dash, or the Revival. That's a dumb name. I don't like that. Dash and Dawson assaulted Enzo in the parking lot at Full Sail. So I think that's going to lead to their debut on the main roster. They just needed to write them off NXT in some way. I think this is writing them off because they're not going to be by themselves. I'm going to tell you that right now. Ain't happening. All right, so this segment with Axel and R-Truth.
Speaking of boner kills,
I can guarantee you this was not planned. This show was running short, and I think the whole world knew it.
Absolutely. You're absolutely right. And it's like, how could you plan to have Curtis Axel versus R-Truth when you have the U.S. Championship match on the pre-show? There's no way this was planned. Yeah. This was a last-minute, on-the-fly time filler.
Now,
and it sucked, and I had no interest in it, and so it just was what it was.
I have to say, whenever the Social Outcast came out, I immediately thought to myself, "Oh, Enzo and Cass are coming." Like, put them over like dorky heels. That would have been great. And then, as soon as our Truth came out, and as soon as Lillian announced a singles match, I'm like, "Well, this isn't happening." That is just so dumb. That was okay. Right now, Brad, we're running short. We're running 10 minutes short. book a segment right now on the fly that would make sense. Go.
Hulk Hogan versus the media.
All right, now a serious one. Go. You have 10 minutes to fill.
Okay. Let's see. Who was not used on this show that could be used?
Come on, hurry up.
They could have used. Well, they could have used like Rusev, but they.
Come on. You're running out of time.
Yeah, I mean, the problem, I guess, here's the problem, okay? The problem is, I mean, you could put anybody in there is the point, but they've done so little with so many of their guys that they're just throwing two people in there is going to I mean, nobody's going to care.
Why? Well, I would have had Ambrose cut a backstage promo. Give him 5 minutes. That dude talking for 5 minutes would easily captivate an audience for that long or more. Have backstage promos with the wrestlers. That's the easiest solution. There's no. It's simple. It's simple. It's simple and stupid and sweet. Keep it simple, stupid. You know.
Yeah, but so much of their stuff is scripted now that they would never do
Yeah,
that.
I know. Oh, I know, and I think it's asinine. Whatever. Moving on to now the main event of Fastlane: Roman Reigns, Brock Lesnar, and Dean Ambrose to become the #1 contender. I gotta say, I got this wrong. I had faith. As my voice cracks, I don't have faith in my voice anymore. I had faith, and it went to hell in a handbasket.
Yeah, I'll say this. This was my favorite match of the night.
It was a good match from beginning to end. I like the spots.
It was a very good match.
Yeah.
It was a very good triple threat match. They're hard to pull off. The dynamic of a triple threat just by its very nature is hard to do. And I thought they did it very well. I thought they told a very good story in the ring with them, Reigns and Ambrose double teaming Brock. They knew he's a beast. They've got to take him out. And then when he's out of the picture, then they fight each other. I mean, the story was good. The end result, while I understand it makes sense in the direction they're going, obviously, I hated it.
Were you surprised? And I tell everyone that if you actually, and I was just being naive, I really thought they were going to change their minds. If you actually thought Roman was losing, you're crazy, man or woman. You're crazy. It wasn't going to happen. They're going with Roman whether you like it or not. And you're going to learn to deal with it. And if you're not going to learn to deal with it, mute every segment he's in or stop watching. That's the best advice I can give anybody. For someone like me, I'll watch no matter what because I love wrestling. I love the product. I might hate who their champ is. I might hate their booking decisions, but that doesn't mean I'm not going to stop watching. But for those that, I mean, the people who are canceling their WWE Network subscriptions, they were so mad. That's a bit much. I mean, really?
Well, I think it okay, yeah, it is what
these crybabies, or I bet, I can guarantee half the people that canceled their subscriptions got it the next night after Shane McMahon came back. I fucking guarantee it.
Yeah, and probably got the network for free. So
yeah, you're probably right. You're probably
good for
right.
them.
Yeah.
Yeah, I understand. I mean, look, people are frustrated because of the direction of the company. And so, it's created this, it's kind of like a parallel to the country with people who are enamored by Donald Trump. People are angry, and they are tired of the status quo.
Make America
They're
great
tired
again.
of being told what they want. This is what you want. I'm going to tell you what you want. You're going to like it. And they want something different. And so, you've got your Donald Trump supporters, and people are enamored by him because he's not that. He's an outsider. And I think there's a parallel with Roman Reigns here and the WWE and their creative direction. They're the status quo, and they're going to tell you who you want, and you're going to like it. And it creates this malcontent base of fans. And sure, some of them are going to complain about fucking everything. That's just their personality. And some of them are lifelong fans who care and want them to do better. They want to see them thrive. They want to see the WWE be great again.
I do too. And so do you. But when the owner of the company who's making all of the decisions says, this is a real quote, I've said it on this podcast, I'll say it again. He'd rather have a place not reacting at all to the guy that he doesn't want, or that he does want, than cheering for someone that he doesn't want. True quote. I think Kevin Nash said it in a U shoot. True quote. He'd rather have you cheering for someone that you, or yeah, you know what? I don't want to fucking whatever. I'm disoriented. You know what I'm trying to say. He wants you cheering for his guy. Bar none, period, end of the story.
Yep. And he wants to make money his way.
Yeah.
Even if it means less money.
Why do you think the Styles Clash isn't going to be Styles' finisher? They didn't create it. That's certainly one reason. Yeah.
He can use the calf cuddler.
And
he can cuddle his opponents into submission.
That is a cool. I do like the calf crusher though. It's a cool submission move. I'm a jiu-jitsu aficionado, and you know I'm a UFC fan as well. I like the move. I think it's really neat. But yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know. It's astonishing that they buried Roman for a month. This is just me. It's like they teased us, and that's exactly what they did. They kept the marks interested. And I'm a mark. Of course I am. They buried Roman for a month, put Dean in the spotlight just to make Dean job. Yeah, he kind of did job. He did the job. I just find their way of doing things not the right way. They should have done it differently.
Well, it's just ironic that Vince McMahon goes on and says that he listens to his audience. That live crowd is their feedback system. You know, this is what he said on Austin's podcast, and
I remember that.
It's clearly bullshit.
Well, you also have to remember that, and just this scenario right now, Roman Reigns is beloved by the kids and by the women. The kids' argument is bullshit because the kids cheer for...
Their average viewer is 40 years old on Raw.
Well, not only that, the kids cheer for the Big Show. The kids will cheer for any baby face. Any one. No matter who they are. They'll cheer for Dean. They'll cheer for Seth.
Roman Reigns, he's not a draw. He's not over. I'm sorry, it's just true. He's not the guy.
He's Lex Luger. I haven't found a better metaphor than that. He's the Lex Luger that should have been the Hulk Hogan. So, yeah, it's true. Oh, and speaking of listening to the crowd, we have a doozy coming up at the end of the podcast. Moving on to Monday Night Raw, we have a lot of hit or misses, and I think this hit or miss, this particular set, going to have a lot of hits and very little misses. Number one, the return of Shane O'Mac. And the stipulation at WrestleMania, if he beats The Undertaker in Hell in a Cell, he gets control of Monday Night Raw. If he doesn't, Vince gets his lockbox back, which I'm sure we'll find out that it is later known as Hornswoggle being kept inside the lockbox.
I thought this was a huge hit.
Oh, yeah. Fucking awesome.
And there are a lot of people who are up in arms about the WrestleMania 32 match between Shane McMahon and The Undertaker.
Why?
So, the segment was great up until that. Then they lost me. Wade Keller, PW Torch, has been very critical of that.
So is Seth Mattis, former writer.
Yeah. Well, you know what? Who fucking cares? This was great. This was great. This was something the people wanted. This was something fresh, something different. It was a spectacle. It's unpredictable, and we're going to get to see it play out. and I'm happy about it. So go fuck yourselves.
Wow. And look at the person standing up for them. The company, that is. I never thought that out of you.
Hey, when I like something, I like it. When I hate it, I hate it. I just call it like I see it.
Now, what about the people that are saying that Shane can't work?
Oh, come on. I mean, they're going to put him in a position if he does, and he may not even wrestle. It may end up being he's in someone's corner, or, the Undertaker's going to be on Raw next week, and the situation's going to evolve. But if he were to wrestle in Hell in a Cell against the Undertaker, I'm sure they will make the match work. Shane McMahon had some very good matches, and yes, he got to go out there and do a lot of spotty stuff, and, he had the benefit of working with some good workers and blah, 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 whatever. His matches were entertaining. Yeah. And I think they would put together an absolutely entertaining spectacle.
For the people,
is it going to be what these little niche market smarks? Is it going to be a 5-star fuck fest, grapple fuck like they want? No, it's not. Okay? It's going to be a spectacle. It's actually going to draw some fucking people into the building. It's actually going to draw some people who want to watch this shit for once.
Yeah, well, yeah. For the marks that don't think he's going to work, go to Shane McMahon's Twitter. He has a Twitter video of him working with I think a kickboxing expert. I forget his name. On his Twitter. So
I personally have a friend who is a casual fan that no longer watches because the product is so bad.
Yeah.
He heard about Shane McMahon and told me this week he is now watching again to see what happens.
Wow. You see, everyone. All it takes is a little money. And, well, here's the problem. And even though Shane's going to work, I promise you all Shane is going to work unless he gets injured. Or Taker. I promise. Shane is going to work. If he doesn't, and this whole theory of like, oh, well, what if Undertaker says, I don't have to do this and aligns with Shane, and then Vince has to pick an opponent. You know what, guys? It's going to be Braun fucking Strowman. So don't wish what's good away before you already know that it's gone. All right? Because who else can match up against The Undertaker right now? Fucking Braun Strowman because of his size alone, and that's it. And until you realize that, appreciate what you have right now, which is a damn good storyline. Deal with it.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it was just confirmed this week by a former writer that the backup plan for this is, in fact, Braun Strowman.
Yes.
So we should all hope this match happens.
Yeah. Yeah, someone on Facebook said, "Oh, what if?" Yeah, Undertaker's like, you can't tell me what to do, Vince. I'm going to be on Shane's side. So you still need an opponent. It's going to be Braun Strowman. So let this happen. Be happy about it. Oh, for fuck's sake! All right. Hell of an opening segment. One of the best that I've ever seen in my. Let's see. I've been watching wrestling now for 9 years. One of the best opening segments in the last 9 years.
And by the way, you can follow my Twitter, our Twitter account for the podcast, at the VOTV podcast, the Voices of the Voiceless, where I did in fact tweet before Raw.
You did.
A hint that Shane McMahon would in fact be on Raw. Nobody else knew it. Everybody was posting online, oh, well, nobody knew this. If anybody said they predicted this, they were lying. Well, maybe you fuckfaces should read my Twitter account. Read our podcast Twitter account, because I did the fucking tweeting, and it's right on there. So shut the fuck up.
You did. I have to back you up. Dean Ambrose and Brock Lesnar in a battle of wills. I love how your assistant put that in the agenda.
He does a good job.
Clearly better than Edge and Christian's intern, I hope. So Dean, the best part about this was Dean's acting, which is fucking amazing. I mean, that guy is so damn good. And what made it better is Brock no-sold that. I shouldn't say no. That's the wrong term, but he stepped on his head. Head.
Yeah, it's a storyline of the Beast going into a feud with someone who has no fear, and in Dean Ambrose, and Dean is trying to gain his respect. Essentially, it's like Brock is starting to respect him. He's like, hey, look at this kid. He's crazy. He's coming at me, and I'm knocking him down, and he's getting right back up.
Yeah.
This was a hit to me as well. I think this is one of the top 2 most interesting matches on the card. I think this will be far more interesting than Roman Reigns and Triple H.
Unless something ends up happening, but like I said, we'll get to that later. I like Dean's. So as soon as Brock's walking back to Gorilla, before he gets to the back, Dean yells, "Brock, I will!" Ow! It was awesome. It was so awesome. I love it. All right, moving on to a feud that it truly has no steam, momentum, anything of the sort. Rikishi now being worked into the storyline between the Usos and the Dudley Boys. Social, like a straw poll. If you fucking care, put a yes in the comment section. Put a no in the comment section if you don't fucking care. I'm on the no, and I wish I did care.
I don't know. Maybe it'll be good for the Usos. Maybe it'll change them up. It'll give them a story. They need something different so bad, and there's some speculation that Rikishi will be worked into the story. Otherwise, the Dudley Boys wouldn't have mentioned him. About, instead of showing them how to make thongs, they should have taught him respect or whatever he said. Whatever Mr. Ray said. Yeah, it's, I don't know.
The Usos are just as exciting as wheat toast.
Yes, exactly right.
I mean, because they have the skin color of wheat toast, and that's not a stereotype. That's just the truth. And they're just boring. What are the Usos? Like, it's like explaining to someone what is Gumby. Gumby is Gumby. I don't know. He's Gumby. What's wheat toast? It's just wheat toast. What are the Usos? They're just the Usos. They do a tribal chant. They yell, "Hara, Us, no." And they do super kicks and fucking...
Flying Uso!
Flying. And they do a Samoan splash or whatever the fuck. That's who the Usos are. None of that's exciting. It's just not. And we have to talk about the gimmick infringement the Young Bucks are going to take action on over the
I know. They're not going to be happy, and maybe when they hit puberty they'll do something about it.
The Young Bucks? Wait, Brad, what's my line? What's my line? Like garbage cleaners.
I mean, that is such a simple line to give. Yeah. I mean, it was pretty much, it's very much a leading line. Like, it's very obvious to figure out. And even if you can't figure it out, how about you improvise, instead of just totally freezing, and it was just so bad.
He's been watching too many Roman Reigns promos. The cue cards got flubbed up.
Yeah, I think Roman Reigns was teaching him how to do a promo.
Oh, dear God. All right, so the big guy, Ryback, abandoning his team and being out for himself from now on. He's going to grab that brass ring. Look, Ryan, I'm going to call you Ryan. Ryan, go away and never come back because nobody wants you on TV anymore. Seriously, dude. There was a point where the Ryback chants were catchy, and they were actually the Feed Me More. They were hot. They ain't hot no more.
This guy I've just, completely soured on him. I just think he's a bit dangerous in the ring, very legitimately. And
he sucks.
He's a sloppy worker. It's just nothing he does excites me whatsoever. Yeah, it was okay. So he abandons his team, and he gives the interview.
They were
he's
winning.
Tired. Yeah. He's tired of tag team matches. He's going to go out on his own and, like you said, grab the brass ring. Okay, well, then why did you sign up in kayfabe for the tag team match? And why did you wrestle 10 fucking minutes in the match before you just decided to walk out?
Yeah.
It didn't even make any sense. And, that's the writing. That's not him. But look, he is so bad that he didn't even know when to leave the ring.
Yeah, Kane had to tell
Kane had to say, "Go Ryback," and you look over at him, and you see him. In WWE, they posted the match to YouTube, and they cut that part out. When Kane's going to say it, they cut away from him. But I saw the original clip on a repeat, and it's clear as day. Ryback looks confused, and Kane has to tell him, "Go Ryback," and then he drops off the apron and walks off. Jesus Christ, this guy's been wrestling far too long to be this bad.
He's just dumb. He's a dumb meathead. I'll say it. I'll say it. I don't care.
It's true.
It's just,
Why to AJ?
I'm a fan. Sorry, I'm a fan. I like it. It gets kind of cool.
I just want to see AJ Styles get rid of the "can I speak to the manager" haircut that you see every middle-aged soccer mom in America wear.
You don't like his hair? What's wrong with his hair?
I think it's terrible.
Maybe he's not a fan of your haircut.
Well, my hair is great. He needs a haircut like mine.
Right, just tell everyone. Just say everyone needs to be like you, and the world will be great. It'll be a cornucopia.
I will make America great again.
Just like, well, that's what Shane Helms said when he went to work for TNA. He'll make America great again. Fuck it, who cares? Yeah, this was that. I'm a fan. They just need to let AJ be himself and face Owens at Mania, and everyone. I'll be happy.
I'm not a big fan of it. I mean, I just want it to be very short term. They have too many tag teams. Everyone's lost in the shuffle. I want to see AJ in a somewhat prominent position, at least at WrestleMania. That's not coming through it. I don't want to see him in tag team. He absolutely needs to be featured in singles.
Yeah.
And I think, a Kevin Owens feud would be great. But yeah, that's what I would like to see.
Roman Reigns versus Sheamus. I loved the part. Okay, no. Before going back to Y2AJ for a second, during their match, whenever he did his flying forearm, Michael Cole yelled, and I can't make this up. It's a diving flying forearm. Ugh.
He is so bad. And it's like, okay, Mauro Ranallo calls the pre-show of Fastlane, and he's so good.
Yeah, he is.
And then the rest of the Fastlane pay-per-view, you have to hear Michael Cole, and it's a downgrade, and it's just bad. Mauro Ranallo needs to be calling all pay-per-views and Monday Night Raw.
Put Cole on SmackDown?
Put him on SmackDown. Put him on whatever. Put him on ROH. I don't give a fuck. He's not very good.
I'm a fan of Tom Phillips on NXT.
I like Tom Phillips. I think Corey Graves
Corey
would be
Graves
great
is
with
fucking
Mauro Ranallo.
sensational.
Corey Graves should be on the main roster commentary team.
Instead of, okay, I'm going to be honest. Why the fuck is Byron Saxon on every goddamn show on the entire company's flagship programs?
He's I don't know. I mean, he's a nice guy, but this isn't like, okay, here's a job because you're a nice guy. That's not how the world works. There's no nice guy championship. I don't know.
Isn't it weird? Byron's everywhere.
He's everywhere, and he has the personality of, drying paint.
Him and the Usos can make. He should be the manager for the Usos. They're both so boring that they work well together.
Yeah, I don't get it. I mean, Mauro's the best one they have already, and he's head and shoulders above everybody else. Corey Graves, he's still learning. He's very good. I think he's got the potential to be great. I think he should be in the main roster. Even I think Jerry Lawler has done a good job since moving to SmackDown with Mauro and playing more of a true heel.
Baby. Heel Jerry, man. Nothing gets better than that.
Yeah, I think those guys would be really good. Honestly, I'm very tired of JBL. Byron is very boring. I'm very tired of Michael Cole.
Michael Cole's not going to give that up till he's dead, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I know. And Tom Phillips is real good, too.
He is.
But the others got to go, I think.
Yeah, and it's not like, we'll see, Jim Ross wasn't afraid to speak his mind. Michael Cole is a kiss ass. So He'll never get fired. This is the problem. This is the problem we're having. All right, go anyway. Roman Reigns and Sheamus is the main event. I loved how Stephanie told Triple H. Well, should I tell him? Yeah, I'll tell him. You're in the main event against Sheamus. That's not a threat, bro. It's just not.
It's a threat to make me want to turn the TV off. Is what it is.
How is Sheamus a threat to anybody?
They've had this match 20 fucking times lately. Look, the reason they had this match is one reason only, because nobody liked Sheamus. They thought they could have this match, and Roman Reigns would get some babyface support and sympathy because nobody likes Sheamus. That's what they thought they were doing here. Only nobody cared about this fucking match whatsoever, and it didn't work.
Just bad. Just bad. I like Sheamus as a wrestler. I think he's talented. And honestly, he was a pretty good babyface. He really was. I don't know. That's my opinion. I think he was pretty good as a babyface.
Something about him just does not click. It doesn't connect.
Yeah, you're not the only one that thinks that. You are. So you have this match. It barely goes on for 6 minutes until it's time to play the game. Triple H comes out looking all badass as fuck with his leather jacket. And he looked
shovel in hand, ready to bury Roman Reigns.
you know he's trying to get Roman over, not bury Roman.
Right.
Come on.
That's why when the crowd was cheering for him, he hit the pedigree when they wanted to see it. That's a real heel move, not.
That was planned. But earlier in the show, you and I talked about Vince listening to the crowd. If he wants to listen to the crowd, Triple H is your top babyface.
He is now.
Oh, dear Lord. Just the reactions from what was going on, it was just silly. Every time Roman would, and hold on, I gotta do this right. Hold on. This is gonna be worth it, I swear. And no, there's not gonna be an advertisement in the YouTube video.
I think Ambrose would have done much better in this role. I think they would be cheering Ambrose over Triple H. With Roman, it's anybody but him. He's the corporate pick, and it's anybody but him.
Yeah. All right, so every time Triple H would hit a move,
that was a very underwhelming soundbite.
It was funny, man. It was funny. Hold on.
He's doing another one.
That's what happened. So this is 4 seconds. Triple H gets the first punch. Roman gets the next punch. Listen and visualize it for yourself. No, we're gonna do it.
I'm expecting another soundbite. He's clearly in love with this soundbite, folks.
That took a while, man. It just did.
Oh boy. Okay. Yeah. It was what it was. He's with slam Roman's face into the announcer's table, and every time he slammed it, they'd yell yes.
Yeah.
And everything was one more time, and it was a raucous crowd. I mean, he is beating the shit out of Roman Reigns, and the crowd is eating it up.
And let's remind everyone, it's Detroit. It's not a Mark City. All right.
Right. It's only going to get worse. I mean, the crowd's going into WrestleMania.
Did you see I call it the Smark Tour? Did you see the Smark Tour? And what it's going to? Oh wow! Does it look bad?
It looks real bad, and I think that's why Roman Reigns suddenly has a nose problem. I mean, it was he did the blood packet so that he was bleeding, and that was supposed to add sympathy. The crowd just loved it. They loved that he was getting his ass kicked, and it was the total opposite effect of what they thought. And no matter
All
how
right,
much
yeah.
they shove it down everyone's throats, nobody is buying this. Do you understand, Vince? Nobody is buying this. Nobody's buying what you're selling.
Here is the last 4 weeks. Here are the last 4 weeks. I need to correct my own grammar of the Monday Night Raw tour until we get to WrestleMania. Oh, it's making me tired just thinking of it. Oh, man. Everything after Shane McMahon, of course, and Dean Ambrose. Okay.
March the highlights of the show.
I know. You're right. And they were in the first half an hour. So first hour.
Which really was a bad move. It's bad TV.
Yeah,
to be honest,
that's what Vince Russo said. And I agree with him completely. You announce that Shane's fighting at Mania. You don't announce the opponent until the end of the show.
Yep.
That's just common sense. All right.
Exactly.
March 7th, 2016. Brad, do you know where Raw's going to be?
It's going to be in Chicago.
Chicago, Illinois, baby. Chicago, Illinois. March 14th.
And no, CM Punk is not returning.
No, he's not. CM Punk return imminent with an E. March 14th, 2016. Brad, where's Raw?
Is it in Philadelphia?
Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania.
Okay.
My hometown. Remember Pittsburgh? They booed Batista out of the building?
That's
them. That's them. I was there.
And they're in Philly like a week or two later, aren't they?
March 21st, 2016. Brad, where's Raw?
Philadelphia?
Philadelphia, Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
And March 28th, 2016. Brad, where's Raw? The go-home show for WrestleMania 32.
That I can't remember.
Hold on. No, this deserves a soundbite. It really does. Because it'll make you laugh. Let's see. It might give me an ad. If so, I'm going to mute it for a second. No, it didn't. Okay. Listen out.
Yo, Pop a 40 and check your rollies.
Oh, that's right. It is in New York City. Yeah. Yep. Yeah, and Brooklyn's going to be brutal on him.
Oh, who the fuck scheduled this 4 weeks? Why would they do that?
Yeah, they clearly thought they would have Roman Reigns over, I guess. I don't know. It's not working. He's not the top guy. He's not the face of the company guy at this point. He's just not. And it's time to put him on the bench and try someone else. I mean, it's pretty obvious to everybody else, I would say, but Vince. And Triple H. Triple H is a Roman Reigns guy. Let's just be honest. He handpicked him as well, too, coming out of NXT. I mean, CM Punk had said, look, his goal right before he left was to make Roman Reigns look strong. He was a Vince and Triple H guy.
Are we sure that Triple H is a Roman Reigns guy?
Yes. 100%.
How do we know? Truthfully, are we 100% sure of that?
Yeah.
Or
No, seriously. It's true. He is a Roman Reigns guy. He likes Roman Reigns. Yeah. Is he in love with him like Vince? Yeah, probably not. But he is a Roman Reigns guy. He is their guy, and they're not letting off the gas. And it doesn't matter what you think. And people thought they could change the title picture. Look, I said it all along. Daniel Bryan was an anomaly. It's not happening again. They're going full throttle from Fastlane, another car reference, thank you, into WrestleMania, and you're going to fucking like it, whether you like it or not.
Well, now, what about Seth Rollins last year? Right? Because it was Seth Rollins that cashed in. Roman was supposed to win the night before.
Yeah, but the people liked. Okay, so the Seth Rollins thing is not like the Daniel Bryan thing. Okay, Daniel Bryan was the underdog. Daniel Bryan was the guy that they didn't want, that the fans did. They tried to hold down. They didn't do that with Seth Rollins. He got the opportunities, and he ran with it. Daniel Bryan was a true underdog story. Seth Rollins was not. I'm sorry. Different scenario. They've been trying for over 13 months to get this guy over as the face of their company, as their top guy. After over 13 months, it is still not working. You would think that would be what we call a clue that it's time to try something different. I mean, Chris Jericho was going to be facing Dean Ambrose. I mean, Dean Ambrose could be taking Triple H's spot and do better than Roman Reigns right now. And they were going to have him face Chris Jericho at WrestleMania 32.
Yeah.
Are you kidding me? He's above that. Fandango wrestled fucking Chris Jericho at WrestleMania.
Well, that was also because I mean, it doesn't matter now. I'm looking up some breaking news for us. That's why I'm a little bit like scatterfucked. It doesn't matter anymore because Dean's not. They realize that.
Yeah, they realized his talent, so they made an adjustment, but they won't put him in the top spot. It's unfortunate. Could he turn heel and feud with Roman Reigns after WrestleMania? Yes. Is he going to win the title? I don't think so. I think he could go into Roman Reigns' spot today and do a much better job.
Of course, but they don't want Dean. They want Roman in that spot.
And I can't wait until Roman Reigns takes off the vest. Take off the vest. If you're the big Superman with the great look, take off the vest. And I've said it time and time again. There's a reason he hasn't taken the vest off. And by the way, multiple former writers of WWE have said that is exactly why he has kept the vest on. It's to hide his physique. He doesn't have a top guy physique. And so they protect him by having him wear that vest.
Well, like I said, that remains to be seen. We don't know. We don't know. No. So how about this? SCScoops.com is reporting that the Wrestling Observer Live show, which was recorded tonight, said that WWE is planning to make their content more edgy from this week until WrestleMania. Your thoughts?
Well, for me, I'm all for it. Look, the average viewer is about 40 years old, and the programming is on 8 to 11 p.m. If your child is up at 10, 11 at night watching edgy programming,
You're a bad
you are
parent.
a fucking terrible parent. That's the problem, not WWE. So shut up.
I knew you were going to say that. You're a bad parent.
You're a bad parent, and they ought to take your children.
It's true, though.
Yeah. It is true. You know, you have to parent and you have to make your own decisions. We can't have everything be PG in this world just to appease a demographic.
Yeah.
You just have to make responsible decisions. And there's so many sensitive people. Jesus Christ. God damn millennials.
You just offended a lot of people by saying those words you just said. So
Yeah, well, tough shit. Because guess what? I don't really care.
I know.
I don't care what people think. I do me. You don't have to like it. But it's like, come on. More edgy. It's going to be good. I'm sorry. Because people can relate to programming that's more edgy. Because people in real life are angry. They use profanity. They have emotions. All the things we don't see on TV right now on Raw. So I'm going to like it. The problem I have is you've got a guy like Vince McMahon saying the fuck word on Raw.
He did.
On a mic, and it was beeped out for TV. The live crowd heard it. I'm sure a lot of mommies were really unhappy. A lot of those soccer moms with AJ Styles haircuts were really angry and probably wanted to speak to the manager. But you know what? It's wrestling. It's not Ringling Brothers. It's not Disney. I don't care what Vince McMahon says. It's not Disney. It's professional wrestling. And it is edgy. And it is reflective of real life, and it should be. And you know what? The problem I have, like I said, is that he's creating a double standard culture. You've got a guy like Brad Maddox, who's on a non-televised dark match,
Cocky prick.
saying the word prick to the audience. He was immediately fired backstage. Vince McMahon is on Monday Night Raw, their flagship televised show on the USA Network, and says the word fucking. And it's bleeped out. But guess what? He didn't fire himself.
Imagine now, how many wrestlers do you think, and this will be our last comment for the night, how many people do you think can get away with saying fuck on Monday Night Raw and not get fired?
Very few. Maybe John Cena, maybe Brock Lesnar, maybe Undertaker. There's no more than a handful of guys.
Does that include Steph, Shane, and H?
Well, they're executives. They're not, wrestlers per se, but yeah, I mean, obviously they could say it. They're all family. They're not going to fire each other.
Now what if the fucking, what's it called? What if the board, because they're publicly traded, the board's like, Vince, we don't like you saying that. You set a bad image. You need to stop or you're fired. Well,
that's the whole problem with wrestling being a publicly traded company. I've said this a million times. They should be private. They should not be a publicly traded company. It's created a million gazillion headaches. And yes, it does put more money in executive pockets. Whoop-de-fucking-doo-dah. Because it's been a disaster for their company, in my opinion. And yes, their profits are at an all-time, their revenue they're taking is at an all-time high and blah, blah, blah. That's great. They've got a lot of sponsorship. That's fantastic. Of course, their profits are not at an all-time high. But of course, so that's great. The product interest is down. Attendance is down, just like Shane McMahon said. The whole thing was a work shoot. I like the edginess. I just don't like the double standard of it. It's like, do as I say, not as I do.
Yeah.
That's the problem I have. Leadership should set good examples. And if you're going to give people the freedom to do that kind of stuff, then they should be able to do it. If not, then you shouldn't be out there doing the same thing. And that's how I feel about it. But I liked it. He said he was going to get the opportunity one more time to give Shane a fucking beating. And I thought it was great because
it sent a message, man.
That is relatable. That is real life, and that is relatable.
Yeah. I agree. I completely agree. I do.
And then you had Roman, quote unquote, injure his nose, and I don't think this is real. Maybe I'm wrong, but they're playing it off.
It was a blood capsule,
WWE.com. Well, they're playing it. Yeah. Well, I know that was, but they're playing it off in WWE.com like he had nose surgery and blah blah blah. Look, this to me is probably a way to keep him off TV for some of these smart mark crowds because they're very concerned, I think, about the reaction he's going to get leading into WrestleMania.
So you have your number one contender not on TV in the month in a good portion of the month leading up to Mania. That's really, really extremely inappropriate.
It's terrible. Yeah, it's terrible. You shouldn't have to protect them like that. I mean, at the least, it's being done to give him further sympathy, which won't work.
Nope.
It's not going to work.
No.
Triple H, hands down, is going to be the babyface in this match at WrestleMania. And Roman Reigns is going to be the heel. And that's how the crowd is going to decide that. I don't care what they do. The crowd is going to decide that Triple H is the babyface.
They're going to shat on it, brother.
And they are going to shit all over Roman Reigns winning. And that's just the reality, whether they like it or whether they don't. And can you imagine the good feeling? It's the main event. They want everyone to go home happy. Yeah! Of the biggest show, the biggest WrestleMania of all time, the main event, and it goes off the air with a chorus of boos to who's supposed to be their new face of the company.
Yeah.
That is going to be an epic, and I do mean an epic disaster. There we go, folks.
Yep. Brad, where can I find you on the interwebs?
You can't. And I'm very glad to see that.
I don't think it's a hard question.
It's not a hard question. You can find me on Twitter with our official Voices of the Voiceless podcast Twitter account. I tweet, I'll respond, I'll friend you, whatever. I'm very people friendly. I'm a man of the people.
So is Vince McMahon.
Yeah.
Vincent Kennedy McMahon. Grr.
Add me at VVOTV podcast, Voices of the Voiceless, at the VOTV podcast. Add me. We'll talk. We'll tweet. I'll tell you I'm right.
Well,
And if I think you're wrong and you backtalk me, I'll just block you. Because I don't care. No, I'm just kidding. Maybe not. I don't know.
decide, damn it. You don't have to. All right, you guys can find me at Jon Fisher IQ on Twitter. My Twitter handle will be changing soon. I'm gonna have to put this out all over the place. Fucking billboards, posters, blimps, all over the place. I'm gonna change my Twitter very soon. Since I'm getting a new job, I'll be changing my Twitter handle to the call letters of the TV station, but not yet.
Oh, I was gonna. Okay, yeah, I was gonna say. I thought you were changing it to at Jon Fisher 69.
That's a little rude, don't you think?
I don't know if it's rude. Isn't that the station numbers?
No,
69?
it's not 69.
Oh, okay.
You dipshit. Did you really think there's no TV station that's 69?
Hey,
Really?
this is Jon Fisher reporting for News Channel 69.
Oh, boy. You can find me at Jon Fisher IQ on Twitter, Jon Fisher on Facebook. You can find all of my works at Wrestling News Hub on Facebook as well. Until next time, friends. Well, Brad, do you have anything else to say? What do you want to say? Say whatever you want. Go ahead and say it. Say it, I dare you.
Yes. If you have a low IQ, I would encourage you not to vote. Do not caucus. In fact, do not put your caucus in a woman. Do not reproduce. Do not vote. Stay in your home. And most importantly, stay away from me.
Well, with that said,
Here comes the money.
Money talk.
Here comes the
money does talk. Use it wisely. See you next week.
Bling, 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 cut the chatter. You ain't talking money, then you're talking no matter.